Hazard Materials for First Responders, 5th edition. My name is Dennis Clinton, and this is Chapter 3, Implementing the Response, Awareness Level Actions at Hazmat Incidents. After completing this chapter, the students shall be able to explain the role of awareness level responders in implementing the response to hazmat incidents. There are 4 objectives in this chapter. The first is to recognize notification procedures. The second is to describe ways first responders use the Emergency Response Guidebook at hazardous materials incidents. The third is to explain the role of first responders in initiating protective actions. And the fourth and final objective is to identify actions that awareness level personnel should take when responding to terrorist incidents. There are 3 skills in this chapter. They are 1. Make appropriate notifications of a hazardous materials incident. Skill 2 is to identify indicators and hazards present at a hazardous materials incident using approved reference sources. And the final skill is to implement protective actions at a hazardous materials incident. This chapter explains the roles and responsibilities of awareness level personnel at emergency incidents. Awareness level personnel must understand the roles in the notification process, have the skills to use the Emergency Response Guidebook, provide basic procedures to isolate the incident, and know the steps to take in case an accident involves terrorism or criminal activity. With that, our first objective is to recognize notification procedures. With notification, predetermined procedures such as standard operating procedures or SOPs and the emergency response plan should define roles in the notification process and methods for communications. For the awareness level personnel, notification may be as simple as calling 911 to report an incident and request emergency assistance. Fixed facility responders may have their own internal procedures to follow, such as calling on the radio for internal fire brigade or hazmat response team. And if criminal or terrorist activities is suspected, personnel should notify law enforcement immediately. Department SOPs will usually cover communication methods both externally and internally at incidents, whether by radio, cell phone, hand signals, or other methods. Personnel and responders must be able to communicate the need for assistance through their department or organization communications equipment. Some of these communications might be requests for additional personnel or special equipment, or to notify others at the incident of an apparent hazard. Personnel and responders must be trained to use the communication equipment assigned to them in accordance with the policies and procedures. Note, all of the actions described in this chapter are also applicable for operations level responders. The review question for this section is, where should the notification procedures for awareness level personnel be defined? See pages 113 of the manual for the answer to this question.